Welcome to the Simply Sales podcast. This podcast is where we share and discuss our experiences and ideas in the world of sales. Each week we will provide you with actionable content to help you improve your sales game. We hope you enjoy this episode. Hi everyone from around the world. Welcome to episode 011 of the Simply Sales podcast. On this episode I want to discuss how you can increase your revenue in your business. Now, on a daily basis, I probably make around 25 odd cold calls per day to businesses. Now, when I'm cold calling, the businesses that I'm calling, obviously, they don't know whether I am, their next biggest customer or someone that's trying to sell them something. Yet, the biggest thing that I see happen on a continual basis is the amount of time that it takes them to answer the phone. Now, you would expect in any form of business, whether you're selling a product, a service, regardless of your sector, industry, your business is only going to improve with sales and revenue. Now, I just can't get my head around it. I mean, I'll give an example today. With two calls that I made today, one of them, the phone rang for 9 minutes and 15 seconds non-stop before someone answered the phone. I mean, that's just crazy. If I was looking to spend, £1,000, £2,000 buying a product from that company, then, they've probably lost a customer. Just by not simply focusing on the basics of if a phone rings, pick it up. And in a lot of small businesses, the phone can tend to be the bane of their life. But actually, that is their lifeline. That is their opportunity for, a customer to contact them and how, they can increase their revenue. So the first call was 9 minutes 15 seconds before someone answered, and the next call completely blew my mind. I was on the phone ringing continuously for over 10 minutes, and guess what? It went through and said, "Sorry, we can't connect your call at this moment in time. Please leave a voicemail." And this is a business. This is not a mobile number. This is a landline for a business. I think it was around 10:30 that I made the call, and I just don't get it. Jordan Belfort has a saying for when you're making cold calls. You just pick up the phone and dial. You can use that in your business when the phone's ringing. Just pick up the phone. My recommendation, and it's up to you, however you want to run your business, but ultimately, if someone's ringing the phone and they're inquiring into our business, you need to be picking that call up within at least 3 to 5 rings, purely and simply because after 3 to 5 rings, most people just, they get bored, they hang up. 3 to 5 rings is about right, I think, in my personal opinion. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's up to you. But one thing to take away from this podcast is if you work in an organisation, regardless of, what your job title is, if you work for a company and you're an employee of that company, the company pays your wages. The only way that they can pay your wages is by generating revenue for the business. Now, if there's phones ringing, off the hook and no one's answering them, then guess what? That business is going to go out of business quite quickly because they're not going to make the money that they need to, which means then you're going to be out of a job and, they're not going to pay, you're not going to be able to pay your bills because you're not earning any money from them. So, if you go above and beyond the expectations of your employer, if you are in a different department and you're walking past someone's desks and you've been told, or the expectation is for you to not answer the phone if it's ringing because it's not your department, go above and beyond that. Go out of your way to answer that phone call. Stand out. Be different. Don't conform to your peers in the office or in the showroom, wherever it is. Don't conform. Be unique. Stand out. You're there to help the customer, and at the end of that phone call could be a customer. Not only do they want to spend money with you today, but they could also want to spend money with you in the future. They could also refer business to you from their friends and family. So always pick up the phone. Aim for 3 to 5 rings, no more than that. And, if you do that, you're going to increase your revenue, because I can tell you one thing for sure. There is 2 businesses that I phoned today that I did not speak to because no one answered the phone. And if I was genuinely a customer looking at purchasing a product or service from them and they didn't answer the phone, I'd go on to the next one that did. So both of those businesses potentially today lost out on revenue. And that's such a sad thing to say. Here in the UK, we're on the verge of Brexit. No one really knows what's going to go on. No one knows, whether it's going to be a good thing. No one knows whether it's going to be a bad thing. But yet businesses still aren't answering the phone. It blows my mind. Blows my mind. Well, thank you for taking the time to listen to episode 11 of the Simply Sales podcast. I hope you've learned something from this, and I hope you go away with answer the goddamn phone. Thank you for taking the time to listen. We'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, we'd really appreciate it if you could leave us a 5-star review on iTunes or Stitcher. If you'd like to connect with us, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Simply Sales Podcast. Alternatively, you can head over to the website simplysalespodcast.com.